I used to buy instructional videos. Hot Licks is a brand that had a lot, and REH. And in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of prominent guitar players would have contracts to make instructional videos. So guys like Paul Gilbert, John Petrucci, Frank Gambale, Greg Howe, Yngwie Malmsteen, I would buy their videos and just learn what I could. And usually it was more technique oriented, not necessarily music theory. So when I went to school, that was kind of where the more academic music theory side came into my playing, but I played for about 10 years just learning by watching. It depends on the individual, because for me it was helpful to explore the guitar and learn only what I wanted to learn, the songs I wanted to learn. So I was just always motivated because I was directing my own development. But eventually I hit a wall with what I understood. So I think each player has to decide for themselves if you really thrive in a classroom setting or you like the structured perception of the guitar based off of, scales and really mapping out your fretboard, then maybe having a teacher is going to be helpful. Even beyond music theory, having a teacher is helpful because there's things like the way you fret a note or the way you do vibrato or the way you bend a note that a teacher can really help you with, and it's a lot harder to develop or even perceive as a beginner. So it depends on the musical context. I like the 6-string guitar. The way it feels is great, and the contrast coming from an 8-string makes it feel like swinging a baseball bat after you've taken a weight off of it. So I like the 6-string for improvisation. So sometimes I work on fundamental practice at home with the 6-string guitar. Whether or not I'll use it in the composition, I don't know. For me, it's less about the amount of strings. Even though I do play an extended range guitar, I don't really, it's not a huge factor. I think I could write an album on a 6-string guitar and it would be just fine. I could probably play on a 5-string guitar and it would be fine, I want to just keep making music that people love and that I love, and I want to feel like I'm progressing. I'm a pretty technique-driven player, so I'm still developing new ways of playing the guitar, designing new guitars. Just basically more of the same, but evolving the current situation. Progressive music is nice because there are less rules than, say, blues or reggae or country music. There's freedom with rhythms, with tonalities. It encourages advanced playing, advanced technique. So and I like the musical aggression too. So it's the perfect home for my style. I'm working on improvisation. I really like the idea of being able to play freely without needing to premeditate an idea. And it's something I haven't worked on because I've worked as a composer for so long. So it's definitely a frontier of my playing. The internet is your friend. All the information you could possibly want to know is online. Try not to over-absorb information because it can become overwhelming. There are a lot of good players out there, and don't let that discourage you. If you're passionate, then just use that as your driving force to keep going.